Most consumables brands are leaving thousands on the table every month. Not because their product doesn't work, but because customers aren't using it properly. The fix is a proper post-purchase flow, and almost no one has one. Let me show you what that looks like. So there we go, shameless plug at the beginning. I'm Louis, I run a retention marketing agency. We've worked with 6- and 7-figure e-com brands and generated multiple millions in revenue for our clients. If you want an audit of your existing email systems, there's a link in the description to book a call. This is the pattern I see all the time. It's not a one-off, it's a default. Most brands end up here without realizing it. The welcome flow gets all the attention because it's conversion focused, but the post-purchase flow gets completely ignored. The welcome flow will have loads of thought behind it. It will be educating the customers on the brand. It might be split by interest area with some zero-party data, some really clever stuff, and we do that as well. But then the post-purchase flow is a thank you email, maybe a review request, and then some vague attempt at a cross-sell. For a consumables brand, that is a massive hole. And it all comes down to adoption. Just because someone's bought something once doesn't mean they're going to automatically become a loyal customer just because the product's good. If they don't use it properly, they're not going to see any results. And if they don't see any results, they're not going to reorder. So that's not an issue with the product. Like I said, it's an issue with the adoption. And I've put there, customers who make a second purchase are 9 times more likely to buy again. So getting them from that purchase 1 to purchase 2 is huge. And this is the flow. So after 15 to 20 minutes, not immediately they're going to be getting their order confirmation emails from Shopify and that sort of thing. So you want to give it a bit of delay, make it seem a bit more human, like someone could be sending it manually. And that just needs to be a genuine thank you. Plain text from the founder, acknowledging the purchase number if it is a repeat purchase. That is all you need straight away. Then after 3 to 4 days or whatever your normal shipping timeline is, you want this to be arriving around when they receive the product. You want some kind of usage guide and to set their expectations. When should they take it? If it's a sleep supplement, how long should they take it before they go to bed? If it has caffeine in, when should they not take it after or something like that? If it's the kind of thing that needs consistent use for them to see any results, let them know that, because otherwise they're going to be wondering why it's not working a week into taking it. A few days after that, I've got day 7 here. You can give them some additional reading and a reminder of the benefits they can expect. So whether that's any blog post, any YouTube content you've done, anything on your social media that's talking about the product, get them completely bought in to what they're going to experience. And then 5 to 7 days later, I've got it as day 12 here. Send a check-in from the founder, super personal, plain text, like it's coming from a friend. See what their experience has been like so far. Ask them for a review. If you're concerned about the quality of your reviews rather than the quantity, you can always split this and only send a review request to repeat purchasers. And for the first-time buyers, you can just check in and try and get a feeling for how they're getting on with the product. You can always ask for replies in this one. That can boost up your deliverability, and it also gets you valuable feedback. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with this kind of thing, but just make it genuine and personal. And at day 18, that's when you can start looking at things like cross-sells. This flow will be split per category or per product, so you can really dive into what is genuinely going to be a complementary product. What most brands do is A, they have this cross-sell email come far too early when they haven't earned any trust, and also they will just stick in a Klaviyo block of, best-selling products. You want to be as specific as you can with this because that second purchase is so important. Then if it's a 30-day supply, you can send that off into a split with a replenishment reminder. On day 25, you want the replenishment reminder to come before they run out, but hopefully when they're running low, and that should get them to repurchase. Alternatively, at that point, you can try and upsell them to a subscription. Again, if you wanted to, you could only send the subscription upsell to second-time buyers. If you're not getting much traction with first-time buyers, that's completely up to you. And in Klaviyo, the flow should look something like this. So the trigger is a placed order. You've got that 20-minute delay there. You're splitting by how many orders they've placed. Is it 1 order? Yes, they get this email. Is it 2? They get this. If it's more than 2, they then get this. And obviously in those emails, like I said, you acknowledge how many times they've purchased and make it feel more specific to them. And then this is where you split by which product they've ordered. If you've got a huge range of SKUs, you could always split by product category. I've seen that work. And then the emails flow down here. Set the expectations, remind them of the benefits. Then here's what I spoke about splitting their review requests versus the basic check-in. Some brands I've seen who've struggled with review quality have only sent the review request to repeat purchasers. But again, this is completely down to you and your brand. And then the cross-sell, and then the founder's check-in. Obviously, you can get as detailed with this as you like, and if you've got 50 SKUs, you could split it by that many, but it'd be a hell of a lot of work. If you're going for a product-by-product split, obviously it makes sense to start with your hero products, the ones that get the most first-time purchasers, and then upsell and cross-sell and build out the other split from there. It could also be worth, if you do have loads of SKUs and you're not going to be able to put this flow together all in one go, you can have a more general flow for anyone who doesn't fit into the splits that you've built already, and then gradually take more SKUs into their own specific branch of the flow. And here's what this will unlock. Your adoption will go up. The customers start seeing results and they're much more likely to reorder. Refund requests will go down, and so will negative reviews. There'll be far fewer "it didn't work" complaints, people calling up your support line or leaving terrible reviews on Trustpilot. That's all going to go down if you nail this post-purchase journey. It's also going to be much easier to upsell a subscription. If someone has got a product and it works, they're obviously far more likely to subscribe to it in the long run. And also, if you're transparent about the time it is likely to take to see results, if that is 3 to 6 months, then if you communicate that clearly, those people should be easy to upsell onto a subscription. And like I've said there, the LTV difference between a one-time buyer and a subscriber is 3 to 5x. So you've got to make sure you nail this. If you haven't looked at your post-purchase flow in the last 6 months, or it's super basic, that's your biggest opportunity for growth. So to bring it all together, your post-purchase flow isn't a thank you and a cross-sell. It's a proper adoption system. And for consumables brands, supplements, food and drink, skincare, that first 30 days is absolutely crucial. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. I put out more videos like this every week. And like I said at the beginning, if you want me to audit your flows and let you know exactly where the gaps are, there's a link in the description. See you in the next one. Cheers.